Hi, this is Untitled Survival. Well, in today's video, to follow up with the matches that we saw, we talked about Firestarter. So, Firestarter is another category of items you can put in your survival bags or your day bags when you go into the forest. So, there is many commercial type of Firestarter. Again, we're going to see them, and later on we're going to test them in another video with the matches. So we're going to see how they perform and which one we prefer. Again, you don't stop to just one. Have as many as you can carry. What I mean by that is have those that you will increment your success rate. Start with the hardest one, basically, and then walk up towards the most easy one to use to start your survival fire. Again, it's the philosophy of saying, if you're not in deep trouble, just stuck in the wood, use the harder method. You have time. But if you're in a dire situation and you need that fire like right F now, well, use the better success rate of your fire starter. So we're going to see those right after this little break. As you saw in the last episode on matches, we did a match with a fire starter integrated. So if you can find this material, there is and the Dolorama, what they call the allume-feu, and or fire starter that has no match on it. It's compressed wood or simply blocks of cardboard with wax. So that's good also. If you have a match, you light them up. But there is other commercial option. Okay, I'm gonna start with two of those that are commercially available. I have no idea if that works. It's the powder stuff marked Firestarter. Up to 4 fire started with that. Burns up to 1,000 degrees. We'll see what that does. It's a powder like, so spray it on, put a match to it, and voila, you're supposed to have fire. The other one that's commercially available, and that's a economy store, Giant Tiger. I found that. Not sure if they have still some. That is at the dollar store. It's to light up barbecues. So either start your fire or your barbecue with it. It's kind of a compressed wood whatever with combustible on it, and you can either cut it and use it as cubes for your fire starter. There is also match-like. I didn't put it in the matches because they're more like fire starter, more like this type of fire starters. This one I think lasts 7 minutes. They're kind of big matches. Okay, it's the make is Olympia. I got that in one of the outside wilderness salon that we have here in Quebec. It's interesting. It's kind of expensive though. And it is a long-lasting match, the same way we do the wax match. Okay, it's just with the fire starter, same principle of this one that you get at the dollar store. Okay, so I'm gonna pass very fast on those. Of course, you can use a candle, which this is a survival candle. This is a standard teapot candle. You can have those with the aluminum wrapping on it, or this one, dollar store dollar store, and this is a little more expensive survival candle, and they last for a couple of hours, so you can light up your fire, extinguish it, and reuse it. So that's the advantage of the candles. If you use this one, you're most likely going to leave it in the fire and let it burn out. So that's a way of lighting up your fire. It's not an easy way, and these are the easiest way. We all know some of the trick. If you get some natural tinders, this is wood chip, okay, you can bring some bark that you can use. You can accumulate that while you're going out in the woods and bring it back, and then make some fire tinder in a bag, and you can reuse those eventually. Okay, these two, lipstick and the hand sanitizer. If you have a paper or a cotton ball that we bring sometimes, then you can use those to get it on. You can put it, both of them, you can put them sorry, on a piece of wood, and you will have some fuel to help you catch the fire. Mostly if you're using these type of fire starter, which makes only sparks, okay, this one or this one, these are Chinese one. The one I use the most is my Coglin one, which you can get to any sporting goods. This one's been abused a bit, so it's been used a lot for practice. I have a 6-inch one that I can use. So these are sparkle. You might want to add this to your fire bundle, so that way it's, when it catch better and faster. Okay. The lint I don't like very much because there's all kinds of, I have to change batteries. If you're going for spark, there is the classical magnesium blocks. This one has been on my belt for a long time, outside, always worked. Okay, there's better qualities than others. China, this is military, okay, but sometimes you can find other type of magnesium block. This one, this is a big one or a small one, so if you put some magnesium about the size of a quarter, then you can light it up with the ferro rod, and once it's light up, you can start a fire. Okay, again, you'll need some help. This is not perfect. Okay, if it's windy, it's going to be difficult, so you might want to light up a combustible block, or have some fat wood. In the fat wood, this is natural fat wood. I'm not sure it even works still. It might have evaporate. There is commercial replacement for fat wood. This. So fire wax wood stick. It is a block of wood, and you scrape it off and start your fire with it the same way you do with the fat wood. Okay. There is the fire tape, which is basically a wax paper fire tape. Okay, basically it's a wax paper, and again you cut it up in pieces and you just light it up. Okay, another third product from the same company is the fat rope stick. Basically it's a rope that's been submerged into wax or fat, and it is used as a combustible. These are commercial version for your tinder. Okay, you use it as tinder. Okay, again, it's accelerant. Of course, most of them you need a light, and a good way of having a survival light, and I still have one bottle of these that is marked, and it's been a year, or it's been many years, it's been fueled. If you can have those or those, Okay, these are containing fuel, and you light up the cotton wick with the spark and you have a match. But these are only matches. Okay, all these solutions, you have to bring them in the woods to use them. So if you don't have a match, or if you don't have these with you, you can't use them. So they gotta be with your kit all the time. So one way is to either have it in your kit. For the ferro rod, or these, okay, or these, the scraper that comes with it, sometimes it's only a piece of steel. If you're lucky, you've got like an old saw scraper like this one. That's a little better, okay, because it's not a bad steel. But when you want the job to be done, you can buy those when they come in special on a good price. Don't pay much for those. If you go over $6-7, that's about what they're worth. They're a carbide sharpener, okay, but they take off steel. So if you sharpen your knife with it, be ready to waste the knife. But for these, they scrape marvelously. So they're a really good scraper for those block of magnesium. So if you have a poor quality magnesium, at least you'll be able to scrape it. So that's an alternative. Can be used also on wood, can be used on most of your stuff. So that way you have a scraper that works. This is quite fast. I have not elaborate on each of the solution. Is it easier? Is it not easier? Most of the time when you start fire into the woods, it takes time. So you got to be patient. Got to have your kit. Your kit is the most important stuff you'll have on you. If you have your kit, you may not need to survive. If you don't have your kit, you will survive. So always preparation, which is one of the steps, the one that that I always have on my keychain, okay, my wooden keychain. All the steps of survival and equipment and education is your last item, but is the most important at the same time, because you do it before you even fall into survival. You will need the equipment. If you have the equipment, you may not be in survival situation. It's I think you call it the conundrum, so I'm not sure in English if this is the correct conundrum. It is a condition where you have it or you don't, and you don't, you have it. So it is what it is. So in a further video, we'll light up those, we'll try them out, see what works, what doesn't. If it's cheap, does it work? If it's not cheap, does it work? So I have a couple of the magnesium bar, at least. These are the most difficult to know if they work or not, so you have to test them. And train with your equipment. That's the last thing you have to do. If you don't train with your equipment, you don't know if it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, it's not good equipment. Why bother bringing it into the wood? So again, if you're to use them, you've got to train with it before you go and survive. Train before you're going, because when you're there, that's all you have, that's all you will be. So many stuff is available, so depending on the quantity of money you want to invest, there is markets, there is stuff that can be sold. I'm sure if I was to go to any other sporting goods store, I could find 20 more items to test. So at least pick one, you know how to use it, and if it works, keep it. If it doesn't work, change. So on this, I hope you like this quick and quiet video. Give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe, and we'll see you back in the next video.